Morning, guys. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you are with my voice and screen. Those who are attending in online, please confirm to me, guys. All of you are with my voice and screen. Yes. Again, check it, guys. Just wait 1 minute of time. 1 minute of time. You will get clarity. Yeah. Now check it, Shivanshu. Shivanshu Agarwal and Jibras. Check once, no? Yes, now it's clear. Right? Yes, good morning. Good morning. Yeah. Yes, good morning. Good morning. Right, guys. Now, after this last class content, introduction part, same inside this introduction part, what are the various concepts we included? Java history, differences between Java and others, Java features, Java naming conventions, Java programming format. These are overall 5 topics are existing. In Java history, 1991, Sun Microsystems had a requirement that to prepare a new programming language in order to prepare softwares for simple electronic consumer devices like able to be switch boxes or remote controllers and so on. For this requirement, Sun Microsystems gathered 30 members team led by James Gosling and Patrick Nathan and started a project named as Green. In the Green project, Sun Microsystems wants to prepare a new programming language. That new programming language should be a simple programming language, a type coded, and an architectural neutral programming language. So Sun Microsystems wants to see these are the 3 features of the new programming language. What are the 3 features? Simple, type-coded, and architectural neutral programming language. Good. Now, what is the meaning of simple programming language? So, in the point of Sun Microsystems, what is the meaning of simple programming language? If you come for this point here, answer is very clear. Simple programming language, if you have to this, the first factor, what Sun Microsystems has taken, lesser execution time. Right, sir. If the programming language applications are taking less execution time, automatically performance will be improved. If the execution time is more, less performance. If the execution time is less and more performance. This is the equation that we have to follow. Similarly, less memory. Less memory. We know already in outside, memory components are costful. If your applications are taking more memory, then cost of the end product will be more. If your applications are taking less memory, cost of the end product will be less. So less memory has taken part of like what no simple, less cost for end product, less power consumption. Power consumption in the sense energy consumption. So if energy consumption is more, maintenance cost will be more. If energy consumption is less, maintenance cost will be less. So less power consumption is also be one of the factor as part of the simple programming language. So Sun Microsystems wants to prepare a new programming language. It should be simple. It means that applications has to take less memory, less execution time, less power consumption. These are the points we have to understand clearly. Next one is after that, after completion of this. The second point is like what I'm telling to you, tight coded. The second point is like what I'm telling to you, tight coded. Right. So tight coded. Guys, I'm asking one question to all of you. Please respond for me. I'm asking one question to all of you guys. Now, please respond for me. My question would be, listen, all of you. We have any awareness on data structures? At least a stack. I'm asking this. Stack is a data structures. The awareness on this stack. Inside this stack, some operations we are performing, like already push. No problem. That's it. No problem. Stack is like what now? Push. And second one is like what I'm telling to you, pop. Right. So third one is like what I'm telling to you, peak. Yeah. The operations at least. Yeah. Last in, first out. This algorithm is followed. Even if you are not having awareness, no need to worry for this. In Java, this topic is available in the future. I will discuss about it. In collection framework, we'll discuss these concepts. But at present, just as for this tight coded point of view, I want to give some clarity for you, try to understand it. Right, sir. Now, the stack is one of the data structure. It able to manage more than one element. Stack is one of the data structure. It able to manage more than one element. So to implement this stack, for example, I'm telling that this example point of a record. That's why I'm taking this one. Still, if you're thinking about this stack now, just I'm telling to you, just like this is my stack, a data structure message. Data structure as a component, simply we can speak it as a component. This is the stack. This is a data structure. Maybe just it is a component. Where how data is going to be provided. For example, my data is available in the form of an object. First, that object I included here, I inserted on the top of another object. On the top of another object. On the top of another object. Like this can be provided. One over another, one over another. Previously might be we are using disks, CDs or something else. How CDs are going to be organized in a pendle manner. That means in a rack of CDs if you are maintaining, in rack of CDs, how we are going to manage there. So one over another, one over another. Like that only we are able to manage all this. Am I right or not? Right, sir. So here also the same thing. This is one object, second object, third object, and fourth object. Just I want to give names, data items, or maybe objects, whatever it may be, something else. This is one, and this is a second, and this is a third, and this is a fourth. Okay. Now, guys, tell me if it is an arrangement in a stack now. Tell me, sir, what is the first element that I inserted actually? What is the first element that I inserted actually? Can any of you tell me? The element which I inserted, first element is what? First element. So first element we inserted. Inserting first element, inserting an element is nothing but push. Push operation, this is first one. First push operation it is. Next, the second element I inserted. So this is like what now? Push 2. Then I'm performing this is what? Push 2. Second push operation. Third element I inserted. Now this element is like what now? Push 3. Then similarly, last element I inserted. Push 4. That's it. Push 4. So push 1, push 2, push 3, and push 4. In this way, in this order, we insert all these elements. All of you respond for me. If we want to retrieve the elements from the stack, in which order we have to read? Come on, guys, everybody has to understand. So to understand this topic, no technical awareness is required. I think this if we have common sense, then easily we can understand it. Tell me, if I want to read elements from the stack, In which order I'm able to read? No. No. Is it possible for me to read first element as the first one? Is it possible to read element 1 as the first one? Is it possible to get element 1 as the first one? No. No. We have to read first one this. So read and remove operation. I want to read and I want to remove. That means I want to get out. I want to get that element out. So that one I want to perform. If I want to perform that, here we need to go for pop operation. Pop operation. This is like what I'm telling you, pop 1. This is pop 1. This element here we are performing pop 1. This is pop 1 operation. That means getting outside of an element. Right, sir. Stack is there. From the stack, we want to get outside an element. This is exactly called as like what? No, pop 2. Pop 2 operation. Right. Anyway, then these are the basics. Future we are going to use all of them. No need to worry for this now. In the future, I will discuss with you clearly. Pop 2. And here also be pop 3. Pop 3. We are going to provide. Right, sir. Here also we are going to provide like what? No, pop 3. Pop 4. Next one is pop 4. Right. Pop 4. So now observe this clearly. Which algorithm it is following actually for retrieving the elements? No, last element we read first. Am I right or not? Last element we read first. So last in, first out. Whatever the element we included as a last element, that will be read, that will be removed, or that will be read as the first one. So that's why this algorithm is called as like what? No, LIFO. In general, we used to say LIFO, last in, first out. This is a meaning here. We can understand it now. Last in, first out. But yes. Is my point is clear or not? All of you guys. Last in, first out. That we are getting. So this is somewhat overview of stack, guys. So now tell me, guys, all of you are getting clarity on this stack. What's the meaning of this stack? At least basic awareness. All of you are getting clarity on it. At least basic awareness. Good. Now, after this, now look carefully. I want to perform the stack operation in my application. Push in the sense we know. What is the meaning of this push operation? So inserting an element. Next one is pop operation, read and remove from stack. Here peak operation, just only read an element, top of the element. That's it. Only. Then pop in the sense read and remove. Peak in the sense only read. Okay, good. Now here my question is what? The C and the C++, if you want to perform the stack operations, in C and C++, if you want to perform stack operations, observe carefully, perform push operation, it will take nearly on around 15 to 20 lines of code, LOC, in the sense lines of code, 15 to 20. Okay, average 20 lines of code, we are able to consume. 20 lines of code, we are able to consume. Next one is, second operation would be pop. Now here, to perform this pop operation also, here we are going to be consume nearly 20 lines of code. 20 lines of code here we are able to consume. Next one is, if you want to perform nearly peak operation, here also we are going to consume nearly 20 lines of code. Okay, guys, all of you observe carefully. First one is push operation, 20 lines of code nearly. Next one is the pop operation, 20 lines of code. Third one is a peak operation again, 20 lines of code. Can you tell me, guys, totally how many lines of code we are going to consume to implement stack operations, to perform stack operations? How many lines of code we have to provide to perform stack operations? On an average, 60 lines of code we have to provide. Almost in a sense, lines of code. 60 lines of code here we have to provide. 60 lines of code here we have to provide. Also carefully. But this is in the case of C and C++. But for example, in the case of Java, if you take no, in the case of Java, if you take no, the same stack operations, what we are going to do to implement the stack operations? Nothing, very simple. Stack S is equal to new stack. We have a predefined class in the case of Java. Stack class, just we are creating object. In the case of Java, how much it is very simple now. Understand it. It's very, very simple in the case of Java. S dot push off a finish. Push operation is completed. In the case of Java, push operation is completed. S dot pop finish. Pop operation is completed. S dot peak finish. Peak operation is completed. Finish. That's finish. Right. My stack operations are completed in the case of Java. Now tell me here, how many lines of code here we have taken the total? Total, how many lines of code here? In the case of the Java, just we created object where push operation, pop operation, and peak operation. In the case of Java, just it is a matter of 4 lines of code. In the case of Java, just it is a matter of 4 lines of code. Not in 1 line. Just we performed all these operations. First stack object we created, then push operation one method we used, pop operation another predefined method we have used, and peak operation. So finally, overall, nearly 4 lines of code. 4 lines of code here we have used to perform the stack operations. Observe carefully. If any programming language takes a less number of instructions to implement a particular requirement, that programming language is called as tight-coded programming language. If any programming language takes a less number of instructions to implement a particular requirement, then that programming language is called as tight-coded programming language. If any programming language takes more number of instructions to implement a particular requirement, if any programming language takes more number of instructions to implement a particular requirement, then that programming language is called as loose-coded programming language. That programming language is called as loose-coded programming language. As after this clearly, I given C, C++, and Java here. Which programming languages are loose-coded programming languages and which programming languages are tight-coded programming language? Tell me guys, now this is a question here what I'm asking to know. This I made some comparison between C, C++ and Java. Which programming language, which programming languages are loose-coded and which programming languages are tight-coded in this overall scenario? Exactly, C, C++ are loose-coded and Java is what? Tight-coded. C, C++ are loose-coded, Java is a tight-coded. So, because of this reason only, Sun Microsystems wants to prepare a new programming language. That programming language should be tight-coded. That programming language should be tight-coded programming language. It should not be loose-coded programming language. Sun Microsystems wants to prepare a new programming language. It should be type-coded. It shouldn't be loose-coded. That means within less number of instructions, we want to implement a particular task, a particular implementation part. So in this way, Sun Microsystems wants to prepare a new programming language. And finally, here, what's the point I'm telling here? So final thing is like what I'm telling to you. Any programming language takes less number of instructions in order to represent particular task, then that programming language is called as tight-coded programming language. The programming language is called as what? Tight-coded programming language. Right, yes. Now this is the meaning of this tight-coded. Okay, second point is also be good. Then Java. Some people wants to see 3 features on the new programming language. Then first one we understood Simple programming language. Less execution time, less memory, less power. Second one is what? Tight coded. Tight coded in the sense less number of instructions and more implementation. Then what is the third one, guys? Architectural neutral. The third one would be like what now? Architectural neutral. This is also an important point with respect to this Java. But now, this is also one of the reason why Java is getting somewhat popular in outside. So we are going to understand it. What's the meaning of this architectural neutral? Right, guys. Now, all of you understand it. One simple example I'm telling to you. Everybody, understand my point. Now I'm taking Java classes. At present, I'm taking Java classes and assume today is also a Java class, Java demo class. For example, of course, we started our content seriously yesterday onwards. That's it. We started already our content yesterday onwards. Just think of it somewhat introduction classes I'm taking. This will be good. I'm going to give two cases to you. Then we have to give proper answer on these two cases. Case number one, first case. What I'm telling to you, case number one. If you want to attend my Java classes, you must be graduate. That means BTech person, BTech in a sense like engineering student. You must be engineering. You must complete or might be you are pursuing engineering, BTech or BE, whatever it may be. Engineering. In that engineering also you must be computer science student. If you want to attend my classes there, you need to have some qualifications. First of all, you should be a engineer. That means computer science engineer, especially. Right. You must have more than 70%. More than 70% in our academics. Then only you're eligible to attend my sessions. Guys, all of you observe this clearly. This is case number one. Now, case number two, I'm telling you, try to understand it. If you want to attend for my classes, no conditions. Just if you are a normal graduate, just graduate, any type of graduate, that doesn't matter. You can attend for my classes. So this is case number two. Now tell me, guys, I'm asking one question to you. After understanding both the cases, now tell me, in which case my services are required more, in which cases my business will be improved more. Can you tell me? Just I'm not typing anything else, just I'm giving some cases to you. Yeah, case number one is watch. If you want to attend my classes, you should be engineer, computer science engineer. You must have minimum 70%. That case number two is if you want to attend my classes, you should be a graduate. That's it. Your percentage is not at all mandatory. Whether you completed that graduation or not, and which year graduate doesn't matter. Simply we can attend my classes. So in the second case, my services are required more or not. Business will be more in the second case or not. Simple point. Means that if myself is compatible with all the members, if myself I'm allowing all the members, if myself is compatible with all the members, then automatically my services will be used by all the members. So demand will be increased for my services. If my services are bounded up to a particular member, a group of people, particular group of people, not for all, then my demand will be very less. Understand? Similarly, what Sun Microsystems wants to prepare the new programming language, they want to prepare the new programming language. They want to prepare a new programming language. Programming language must be compatible with all the hardware systems. Compatible with all the hardware systems, not to bound with any particular system. Guys, all of you observe carefully what I'm telling you. So Sun Microsystems wants to prepare a new programming language. The new programming language must be compatible with all the hardware systems, not to do bound with any particular hardware system. So my point clear. So executing programming language applications on all the hardware system, hardware system is called as any programming language. That means if any programming language or else maybe executing programming language applications on all the executing programming language applications on all the hardware systems is called as hardware independent programming language. Hardware independent programming language, right, sir? Hardware independent programming language, and this process and the process of executing applications and the process of executing, not like this, not required to go for this process and all these things. So just architectural neutral in the sense like what I'm telling executing programming language applications on all the hardware systems, then is called as hardware independent programming language. This hardware independent programming language is also be called as architectural neutral programming language. Understand my central context, what I'm trying to say now. So Sun Microsystems wants to prepare a new programming language. It should not bound with any particular. It should not bound with any particular hardware system. It must be available to every hardware system. Whenever it is available to every hardware system, then only its demand will be increased and business will be increased. So by thinking about this, Sun Microsystems has taken Sun Microsystems wants to prepare a new programming language. It must be available to every hardware system. It must execute its applications onto the every hardware system, not to bond with any particular hardware system. So this nature is nothing but exactly architectural neutral. It is neutral to every architecture. It is not bound with any particular architecture. That's the case now. This is the meaning of like what I'm telling architectural neutral programming language. As overall, all three things here we completed. What are the three things? What exactly the three things here we understood here? First one is a simple. Second one is tight coded. Third one is like what? No, architectural neutral. Can you tell me? Can you tell me what is the meaning of the simple programming language in the point of some microsystems? No. What is the meaning of simple programming language in the point of some microsystems? Can you tell me? Right, three factors can be recognized. What are the three factors can know? Less execution time, less memory, and less power consumption. That's the three things. Now, can you tell me what is the meaning of this tight coded? Tight coded. Immediately we have to get one point in our mind. Tight coded in the sense what? Tight coded in the sense what? Come on, guys. Everybody has to give answer for it. Less coding and more implementation. Less coding and more implementation. Less number of instructions and more implementation parts. Then similarly, what's the meaning of this architectural neutral? What's the meaning of this architectural neutral? Right, must be compatible with, must be available to every hardware system. Must run our applications on every hardware system. No hardware restrictions can. On any mission, our applications has to be executed. So these are the three features that Sun Microsystems wants to implement. So where we are now, at which time we are now, still we are at 1991 only. Just a Sun Microsystem is thinking they want to implement these features on the new programming language. Still, they did not started their work. Where at 1991 only, Sun Microsystem had a requirement. They want to prepare a new programming language. On that new programming language, just some people wants to implement these three features. Still, the work was not started. Work was not started. Just simply they are thinking they want to implement these features on the new programming language. Now understand it clearly. At 1991, at 1991, there is a programming language which is very much famous. There is a programming language which is very much famous. That programming language is what? Pascal. Pascal programming language is very good at 1991. So this Pascal was provided by whom? Nicholas Werth. Nicholas Werth is an inventor of the Pascal programming language. Then what this person has done, who understood the requirement of the Sun microsystems, who understood the requirement of the Sun microsystems, then after that, who understood the requirement of Sun microsystems, and what he has done, he started preparing his own implementation. He started preparing his own implementation. He started preparing his own implementation for Sun microsystems, and finally he completed his implementation part. And finally he went to Sun microsystems and he shared his total solution to Sun microsystems. Understand, guys, what I'm telling there? At 1991, Pascal programming language is very good, and which was invented by Nicholas Wirth, who understood the requirement of Sun microsystems. He prepared solution for it. He went to Sun microsystems. He shared his solution to Sun microsystems. But unfortunately, what happened? Sun microsystems has rejected Nicholas Wirth implementation. Sun microsystems has not accepted Nicholas Wirth implementation. Sun microsystems has rejected Nicholas Wirth implementation. Why? Why Sun microsystems has rejected Nicholas Wirth implementation? What is the reason for it? No. What was the reason there? No. The reason is Sun microsystems is looking for the solution in object orientation, but but Nicholas Wirth, has provided solution in Pascal, that is procedure orientation. So Sun microsystem is expecting the solution in object orientation, but Nicholas Wirth has provided solution in a procedure orientation. That's why Sun microsystems has rejected Nicholas Wirth solution. Good. Then after that, Sun microsystem has started work to prepare new programming language. Right. So now finally, Sun microsystems took nearly 2 years of time, and finally at the end of 1992, new programming language was created. New programming language was prepared. New programming language prepared by Sun microsystems completed. At the end of 1992, they completed preparing new programming language. Good. Then they want to give name for new programming language. They want to give name for new programming language. Then how? They want to give name for new programming language. What name they want to give? Good, understand it. All the members are searching for the name for this new programming language. One fine day, what James Gosling has done, when he sat at his cabin, he always likes to see one type of tree through his cabin window. He always likes to see a type of tree, one particular tree through his cabin window. The name of the tree is what? Oak. O-A-K, oak. Oak is the name of the tree. So he thought of it and he wanted to give this name to the new programming language. He shared his opinion to Sun microsystems again. So James Gosling always likes to see one type of tree through his cabin window. The name of the tree is oak. So he thought of it. He wanted to give this name to new programming language. So he went to Sun microsystems and he shared his opinion to Sun microsystems. Unfortunately, Sun microsystems has rejected James Gosling opinion. They didn't like to give name for the new programming language is WOK, O-A-K, WOK. Why? Because what's the reason for it? No, WOK is already an existed programming language before 1992. Before 1992, there is a programming language. It was WOK already with the same name. Another programming language was existed previously. Then people are raising this particular point to the James Gosling. Already one programming language is existed with the same name, work. Then what is the requirement to give same name to our new programming language? If we give work is a name to new programming language, we may lose our identity on our new programming language. Our new programming language identity is not going to be available. So people are thinking about it. It's an extension of the old programming language work. So what is the requirement to provide this name to our new programming language unnecessarily? Then again, some people are thinking about new name for the new programming language. As observe carefully, one more point I'm telling you now. While preparing this new programming language, all green project people, all green project developers, they used to go for their cafeteria regularly. They used to take one brand labeled coffee. As all of you observe carefully what I'm telling you know. While preparing this new programming language, all the sun engineers or at least green project people, they used to go for their cafeteria. They used to take one brand labeled coffee. The name of this brand labeled coffee, the name of this brand labeled coffee is Java. The name of the brand labeled coffee is Java. All of a sudden, sun engineers getting this thought. If we give this name to our new programming language, then what will happen? Then some people are thinking about it. Why don't we give this name to our new programming language? They thought of it and they shared their information to the Sun Microsystems. We don't know what is the reason why. Then Sun Microsystems has accepted this particular opinion of the Sun engineers, and finally Sun Microsystems decided. Then Sun Microsystems wants to give name to our new programming language. Is like what? Java. That's it. Java. That's it. Java is what? A coffee powder name, strictly speaking. Java is a coffee powder name. In Indonesia, Java is a place name, strictly speaking. That place is famous for coffee trees and all. So companies have introduced the coffee powder with the land name for the sake of their marketing purpose. The coffee powder is Java coffee powder. Unfortunately, the Java coffee powder was used by Sun Microsystems cafeteria. Unfortunately, all Sun engineers they used to take the same Java coffee while preparing new programming language. By all these relations, finally they thought they want to give name for this new programming language. It would be like what? No, Java. Finally, they decided Java is a programming language. Java is a name for their new programming language. Guys, again and again, I'm telling there in outside also, I've seen might be some posts in outside and might be some students might be asked to me previously. What they're asking, sir, can you tell me what is the abbreviation for Java? Can you tell me, guys? Then can you tell me, sir, what is the abbreviation for Java? Then some students are asking this question to me frequently in demo classes also. I'm giving clarity for you as I know this total background story of this Java. No abbreviation is available for Java. No abbreviation is available for Java. Java is a coffee powder name that was used by Sun Microsystems cafeteria. While preparing new programming language, some people have taken this copy. So that's why, because of that reason, they might be given, they have given name for this new programming language is what? Java. That's it. Apart from that, we don't have any meaning for this Java. We don't have any abbreviations for Java. If we come to Hyderabad, and everything is possible. In Hyderabad, for everything, then they're able to provide some abbreviations, and with that abbreviations only they used to call. Understand, guys, what I'm telling them. So don't think much about it. Abbreviations for Java, no abbreviation is available for Java. Just it is a coffee powder name. It's a place name. Strictly speaking, it's a place name in Indonesia. Java is a place name in Indonesia. And that place is famous for coffee teas. And coffee powder was released with the land name. That's why Java coffee powder. And because of this reason, only Java programming language can get it. Good, guys. Now this is the story how the Java programming language, the name Java, we are getting it. Good, fine. At the end of 1992, by using Java programming language, first product was prepared. At the end of 1992, by using Java, very first product was prepared. Name of this product is Star 7. What is this actually? It's a remote controller. Very first product was prepared on the basis of Java by using Java. The name is Star 7. It is what? No, it is a remote controller. It is like what I'm telling you, controller, remote controller. Good. Unfortunately, what happened at the end of 1992, Sun Microsystems has prepared this product as a first product on the base of Java, but unfortunately, no customer is identified to take the Star 7 product. It's a failure product. Nobody is interested to take this particular product. Nobody is interested to take this particular product. As all of you observe this clearly now. It's a failure product. The product on Java is a failure product. But Java is getting much popularity in outside. But the first product, the failure product, the very first product is failure product. You can observe this clearly. So nearly Sun Microsystems has waited nearly 1.5 years of time, complete 1993 and up to mid of 1994. Complete 1993 and mid of 1994, Sun Microsystems waited to sell, that means to find customer for the Star 7. But no customer is identified for the Star 7 product. No customer is identified for Star 7 product. Observe carefully. There's a problem here. So depressed. This is totally a disappointment for Sun Microsystems. Good. So no customer is identified. They are waited up to mid of 1994. And in the middle of 1994, at mid of 1994, very good boom is available for www as part of internet. The internet boom was increased in the mid of 1994 onwards. At abroad, it was like in the mid of 1994. At India, maybe it was at 2000, 2001. On these years onwards, that internet boom was started in outside. At mid of 1994, there is a good boom. There is a very good boom for www as part of internet. Then people are talking why very good boom is available for www as part of internet. When people understood, so this www is getting very good demand because of browser only. Because of browser only. Yes, www is getting very good demand because of the browser only. So browser is a centralized component. So browsers are having very good demand at mid of 1994. Good. At mid of 1994, only one browser which is very much famous in outside. Name of that browser is like what now? Mosaic. Mosaic is a browser. Mosaic is a browser. That browser is very much famous in outside. This Mosaic browser was prepared by Mark Anderson. Mark Anderson. Who's this Mark Anderson actually? Is an undergraduate student at Illinois University. Is undergraduate student at Illinois University. As part of his project work, he went to Netscape Communications for the sake of completing that project. At Netscape Communications, he did the total project. As part of the project, he prepared this Mosaic browser. To prepare this Mosaic browser, it took nearly $6.25 per hour. To prepare this Mosaic browser, he has taken $6.25 per hour. Finally, as part of his project work, he completed this Mosaic browser. That browser is existed at the mid of 1994. That is very good, having very good demand in outside. And Sun Microsystem is observing all these things. So finally, what Sun Microsystem thought of it? Our first product anyway, it's a failure product. So now at present, in mid of 1994, very good boom is available for browsers. So why don't we prepare our own browser? Behalf of Sun Microsystems, why don't we prepare our own browser? Then immediately, Jonathan Payne and Patrick Nathan. Jonathan Payne and Patrick Nathan, who took the responsibility, Jonathan Payne and Patrick Nathan, who took the responsibility to prepare a new browser. Behalf of Sun Microsystems, who took the responsibility and who started their work to prepare new browser. Again, they took nearly 1.5 years of time. Then we are at the mid of 1994. Then who took nearly 1.5 years of remaining part of 1994 and complete 1995. At the end of 1995, Sun Microsystems prepared a browser Sun Microsystems has introduced a browser to the market. The name of that browser is what? Hard Java browser. Sun Microsystems has introduced a browser to the market at the end of 1995. The name of that browser is what? Hard Java browser. Because of this reason only, most of the people in outside here Java name is available. That's why most of the people in outside they are thinking Java was released at the end of 1995. Then people are thinking Java was released at the end of 1995. Most of the people in outside. No, at the end of 1995, the Java programming language was not released. Only hard Java browser was released. That's a browser. A browser was released at the end of 1995. Good. Then what happened there? No, when this hard Java browser was released to the market, then people are attracted more for this particular browser, and people are thinking now on the basis of what this hard Java browser was prepared. How Sun Microsystems has prepared this particular product. This product is very good and getting very good demand. Now all the people are talking about this hard Java browser only in outside. Then on the basis of what Sun Microsystems has prepared this particular browser. The people are talking about it. By the time people understood, there is a new programming language at the Sun Microsystems. There is a new programming language at Sun Microsystems. By using that new programming language only, this browser was prepared. The name of that new programming language is Java. The name of that new programming language was Java. So from this point onwards, people are talking about Java. From this particular point onwards, people are talking about Java. But Java is the name is getting good demand in outside market. And finally, Sun Microsystems understood the requirement of Java, understood the intention of Java, and understood the demand of this Java. And finally, Sun Microsystems decided they want to release the Sun Microsystems to the outside. They want to release the Java programming language to the outside. They want to give more popularity for Java programming language, so they want to release Java programming language to outside market. So further, they set the date for the first version of the Java, on which date and Sun Microsystems was given very first version of the Java. That was exactly 1996 January 23rd. 1996 January 23rd, not at 1995. At 1995, hard Java browser was released, but at 1996 January 23rd, Sun Microsystems released officially first Java version with the title JDK 1.0, Java Development Kit 1.0. So that was the origin. That was the first phase of Java in outside of market. The first Java kept its leg on it on the first day, and on this 1996 January 23rd, JDK 1.0 version was released to the market. From this point onwards, every 1 year or 2 years of time, the versions are released. Initial version is like what now? JDK 1.0 and JDK 1.1 and JDK 1.2. Yes, now at JDK 1.0 language introduction, the very first phase of Java to outside. 1.1 small updations only. JDK 1.2, 70% of the Java was introduced. Strictly speaking, actual Java was introduced along with 1.2. But people are thinking 1.0. 1.0 is the basics only. Fundamentals of the Java only were introduced. But at present, whatever the Java we are using, where 70% of the Java was introduced at JDK 1.2 version. And with this JDK 1.2 only, the names are changed. J2SE was provided, J2EE was provided, J2ME. J2EE, J2ME were provided along with the J2SE 1.2. That means JDK 1.2 version only. Then after that, number of changes are available. Then JDK 1.3 with the nominal changes, JDK 1.4 nominal changes. Again here, JDK 1.5 version, huge number of changes, more enhancements. More enhancements are provided at JDK 1.5 version. So nowadays the most popular annotations are provided in JDK 1.5 only. Annotations like more and more number of concepts are available at JDK 1.5. Then after that again JDK 1.6 version. Right, again, nominal changes only, and JDK 1.7, one or two changes only. Again, JDK 1.8 version, again, more enhancements are available. Again, this is another startup point. More enhancements are available. Right, sir? And observe this clearly. Language introduction. Next one is watch. Is a super success. Right, anyway, it is not required to rate success or failure, but all the features are okay. And JDK 1.8 version, more enhancements are available. JDK 1.9 version will also be having good enhancements, more enhancements. Then after that, JDK 1.0 version onwards, what happened? Up to JDK 1.9, up to JDK 1.10. So yearly version was there. Yearly version is every 2 years or 3 years of time, like this. Some ecosystems or maybe they want to provide their language. And one more thing I'm telling there, up to JDK 1.6, Sun Microsystems ended. Sun Microsystems ended. Right from JDK 1.7 version onwards, effectively, Oracle Corporation has taken the responsibility. The Java is under Oracle Corporation. That's all of you have to this clear. 1.7 onwards, Oracle Corporation has taken the responsibility for Java. So then after that, in 1.8 more enhancements, in 1.9 more enhancements, and in 1.10 now, you can observe this clearly. Yearly plan was ended. Then 6 months plan. 6 months plan was started. 6 months plan was started. What's the meaning of it now? Previously, new version of Java was introduced maybe on every 2 years or 3 years of time. But right from JDK 1.10 version onwards, the Oracle people have started their new plan. That is 6 months plan. That means every 6 months of time they want to introduce a new version of the Java. And every 6 months of time they want to introduce new version of the Java. Because of that reason only, after the introduction of JDK 1.10, next one is like one JDK 11 that was introduced. Right, sir. JDK 11 that was introduced. Then here also be less number of enhancements only, not more number of enhancements. Then after that, next 6 months of time, JDK 1.12 version was released. There also less number of enhancements only. Then after that, JDK 1.13, less number of enhancements only. And JDK 1.14, less number of enhancements only. Now after this JDK 10 now, every version just one or two useful implementations are only available. Not at a time all the implementations now. In the previously yearly plan, number of enhancements are more, but whenever we are in a 6 months plan, one or two implementations only, one or two new features only, we are able to get in our versions, at each and every version. So as of now, Java JDK 1.14 was released. JDK 1.15 is released or not, I will check it. If it is released, then I'm able to include the JDK 1.15 also in our code, in our program. That means in our course. So as of now, JDK 1.14, if it is released, JDK 1.15 is released, definitely I'm going to introduce the JDK 1.15 version also in our course. So this is guys, now this is the total, right, the total content of this Sunmic, that means total content of like Java life cycle, the total view of this Java programming language. Right guys, now, so what are we going to use? What's the meaning of it? I'm not getting it now. So which version we are going to discuss there? Guys, all of you observe this clearly. Literally, I'm telling you right from JDK 1.0 version to up to Java 14, JDK 1.4. Then all the versions we are going to discuss in our classes. Topics wise. Topics wise, I will start now. Right. The topic is having any changes from first version to last version of Java. And all versions implementation kit we are going to put. Definitely, we are going to understand all versions, but majorly, main concentration is going in mainly right from Java 1.6, sorry, Java 1.4 version to after Java 1.14 version, we are going to have maximum content here. We are going to be covered, but we are going to focus on right from 1.0 version to up to 1.14 version. But in outside market, which version is going on at present still we can think of it JDK 1.8 version, JDK 9 or maybe 10. Within these three only versions are used in outside market. But the latest version we are going to up to JDK 14, we are going to understand it now. Definitely, we are going to understand up to 14. So then we can have more focus right from 1.6 to 1.14, but we used to cover right from 1.0 to 1.14. That depends on topics. Concepts wise, I will discuss there, and on that particular topic, which version operations are available, then I will discuss about it. In that way, I'm planning for this content. Right? That's all, guys. Now this is Java story, then total Java background history. The next topic would be differences between Java and others. The topic I want to discuss with you tomorrow. Tomorrow I will start this differences between Java and others. So design patterns and algorithms. It will be a separate course. Maybe in design patterns is not included in our course, but while moving on to the concepts, some design patterns are automatically included. Along with the course, we are going to take some design patterns content. Not at a time, not all these design patterns at a time. Depending on the topic, some design patterns will come. There, we are going to discuss about the design patterns. I'm sure about it. Yeah. Then this Java history just as theoretical content. Just I'm explaining, sir. But in the middle, I did not include it actually. Just only this is only just it's not important in the point of interviews, and it is not important in the point of like what I'm telling you, interviews also. Maybe project development also it's not important, but awareness is required. So definitely I will share this document. I will share this document for all of you guys. No need to worry for this. Right. Yeah, definitely. I will provide this document. Classroom document I will provide you, so by that we are able to get much clarity. Thank you. Thank you, Jaspreet. Yeah. Thank you, Mekdati. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Okay, guys, and shall we meet on tomorrow regarding the differences between Java and others? Yeah, Jebras, just guys, regarding these videos and all, just one time talk with Pavani. She will share that videos link to you through Google Drive access. She will share that all videos through Google Drive access. Just one time talk with Pavani through these numbers, or you can send a mail to Pavani. She will be responding. She will respond. Yeah. Definitely. Just wait. Then up to some 1 or 2 days of time, this link is going on. After this 1 or 2 days of time, this once this link is completed, then you will get permanent link. No need to worry for this. No need to think every day that link. No, just whatever the link at present we are using, next 2 to 3 days of time, just we can use that link only. Within 2 to 3 days of time, link is going to be expired. Then as for that, then after that you will get permanent link. No need to worry for this. Thank you. Thank you. Definitely. Nikhil Sai, he'll provide it. He'll provide it. Just course was started 1 or 2 days of time. That environment will set within 1 or 2 days of time. You will get it, max. Yeah, I will send this document also. This classroom notes also I will send. Just it will take 1 or 2 days of time. Don't worry for this. Okay, fine. Miss Pavitra ma'am, I'm not getting what you're asking. So it Durgasoft design patterns course, I think so available, but C programming language. Some other trainer might be taking that, not related to our course only. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to teaching design patterns, but then how I'm planning this design patterns. For example, if I'm taking core Java, at core Java, 3 to 4 design patterns will come. Singleton design pattern, factory method design pattern, adapter design pattern. So on the basis of the topics, they will come. By the time we'll discuss these design patterns automatically. In that way, I'm planning for it. But separate course, I'm not going to be included here. I'm not going to plan for the separate course. Yeah, definitely that major design patterns you are able to get in our classes. Don't worry for this. We are able to get major design patterns. Yeah. How much design patterns, which design patterns are useful in core Java? Up to that, we are going to be covered. Thank you. That's all, guys. And tomorrow we will meet, and tomorrow then I'll start our content. differences between Java and others, and meanwhile, then try to complete your registrations and as early as possible within 1 or 2 days of time. This link is going to be expired. Now try to complete the registration process also. Thank you. Thanks a lot, guys. Thank you. I'll meet on tomorrow. Meet on tomorrow at 6 o'clock.